Oh, that's right, boys and girls. In the old hunk of junk, listening to some copyright-free music, and about to start SkyLounge Podcast, episode number 319, a Cruisin untitled rant on February 4th, 2021. Why is that date so special? Well, it's my dad's birthday, and he would have been 61 today. Yeah. For those of you asking, he passed away June 2018, so it's been quite some time. And, it's curious. I look at everything that's happening now in our world, and I begin to wonder, what my dad would have thought about all of this. And probably we would have argued about some bullshit because we never were really on the, kindest of terms when he was around. And, we'd conflict all the time. We'd butt heads all the time. The way, philosophies differ, right? And, when you're younger, you feel this sense of righteousness, right? This sense of invincibility, invulnerability, and, quote-unquote supreme, absolute, intelligence is what you perceive everything to be. And, I'm not an old man, within that regard. I'm not a wise man. I'm still a young fucking idiot. I'm still learning every day. But, looking back on it now, a lot of the, arguments, a lot of the unnecessary conflicts, they all stem from ego. Just because I couldn't say I was wrong, or, I don't know, right? Those two things people do not put in their vocabulary. People intentionally will step around those things because why? Ego is such a precious commodity for some people, right? Or how they perceive ego to be. You can't harm this little precious thing that I built up, and you make fun of this thing, then you're an enemy with me. Or, whatever some bullshit fucking goes along with that. And, when I was younger, I didn't really understand that idea. The ego of relinquishing ego and using that thing as a fuel and not a lifestyle, right? And I know it's a bit odd to talk about that, a concept like ego in such a palpable way, but, the way people operate under this illusion of confidence, it's nothing more than an emotional defense mechanism, because ego essentially stems from fear, right? Because when you're afraid, you're overcompensating. You're not thinking rationally. You're fucking out of your goddamn mind. And it's this fear, this constant fear, wherever it may come from. It's this constant fear that wriggles inside our heads and creates doubt, creates frustration. And when there's a clash of egos, when there are two people, like more than one person, all right, already the one person struggling with their ego shit is already a difficult thing as it is. But when there's two people involved, right, and there's a clashing of egos, a clashing of ideas, clashing of philosophies, it's rough, man. It's rough. It's not something that anyone should really be around, because my mom's seen that shit for decades between me and my dad, and it's one of those things where you learn once you fail, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, the battle of egos is something that I couldn't really let go with my dad when he was alive. A lot of times, maybe it's just, my arrogance in thinking that I'm better than him, or his, frustration with my relative, I suppose, indifference with whatever my talent or whatever benefits and assets he saw in me. But always this clash of egos, man. Always this shit where we would just get at each other. But, once he passed, and, years pass, and you start thinking about things, you start thinking about life, you start thinking about your general behaviors in the past and all these other things. you learn. You slowly grow out of certain things that you're accustomed to. You learn to unlearn, which is a damn near fucking hair-pulling fucking experience, but you need it. You need to learn to unlearn. And it's hard, man. It took me, my dad dying, and me failing, and constantly still failing as my alarm goes off here. I actually meant to make the alarm so that I was gonna fucking shave before I headed out, but fuck it! Decided to walk out, right? But when something so contentious, like a battle of egos, walks out in your life in the form of death, it does something to you. It changes you. It opens up a lot of perspectives. It opens up a lot of gateways to truths that you didn't know were there. And I always refer to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I mean, which honestly could be named my all-time favorite animes. I mean, if you fucking ask me right now, maybe JoJo. But then again, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it's fucking amazing. But in the anime and the manga itself, there's this concept of the gateways of truth, like the truth. And what you perceive the truth to be, I mean, it's on you. It's on how the anime really explains it. The door holder, the doorkeeper's truth is what lies behind the door. And once you get a glimpse of it, I mean, the truth will wrap you up. I mean, in this anime, it literally wraps you up into just countless amounts of information and perspective and paradigm shifts that it fucks with you, man. It really fucks with you, but I'd rather live in the truth and be fucking miserable than live in convenience and a lie and be surrounded next to cum-guzzling morons. Is that kind of an insane thing for me to say? Probably at this day and age, because I'm going to be seen as some sort of hate speech mongering piece of shit. Because that's how this always goes, right? But I know what I am. I'm a loudmouth, non-violent piece of shit that is pretty fucking honest about everything and anything. I mean, you ask me, I'll just be straight up. And I have enough, I suppose, I have enough self-awareness to know that I'm not good enough with most and everything I do. And I think that really is the gift of death. And it's so weird to talk such morbid concepts like this today. But my dad's birthday has me thinking about a lot of things. But the gift of death is something that you don't really see in a sentence or an example when those two are used together. It just doesn't make any sense. But let me explain. The gift of death, like I said with paradigm shifts, it's something that opens your eyes to the truth, because you won't get that anywhere else. Death gives you this insane perspective of life, of how complex yet so simple and stupid it all is. But it's up to you. It's up to you to use that truth and find your own truths, really, to navigate your life, to really create your own meaning, create your own, destiny, things like that. I'm someone who was never in for that mysticism shit, fate, destiny. And, I don't say it to an extent where I'm like, oh, I'm all about it now. Well, no, I mean, I can't really say that because I don't really think that. But, there are certain things that, certain people might just have a knack for. And there's something you just can't explain with these. I gotta fucking turn this goddamn motorcyclist. I'm like a goddamn baboon. I gotta cut in. God damn it. It's curious because before my dad died, I remember saying, like, I'm never going to drive like you. Fucking insane person, screaming at people behind the wheel. What the hell's wrong with you? If I get behind the wheel, I'm never doing that shit. Well, look how that turned out. I'm that fucking prick who goes absolutely crazy behind the wheels if you're driving like an asshole. Because, listen, let's be honest, all right? The reason why I fucking overreact and go crazy when people don't know how to fucking drive on the road is because it's not just your life that's at risk. It's my fucking life that's at risk, okay? When you get behind the goddamn wheels, okay, your life is at risk because you are driving a literal weapon. And if you don't know how to operate the weapon carefully and properly and in a focused manner, you are fucked. And you will fuck everybody else along with you. So, I could rationalize a lot of shit that I do, but it's the emotional aspect of assessing things like, dude, you're just like your dad. And that phrase used to piss me off a lot back in the day. Oh my God. Somebody said that shit to me, I'd kind of lose it, especially when I was a kid. You know, probably preteens and, early formative years back in Los Angeles. You know, somebody said, oh, you look like your dad. Oh, you look like your dad. You know, look at your dad. I get fucking irritated. Fuck out of here. I don't look anything like him. I don't behave like him. Get the hell out of here. I'm just me. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things, I mean, behavior-wise and way of operating that I know that I'm very similar to my dad. Oh my God. I'll tell you one thing about the Las Vegas trip, folks, okay? So for those of you who don't live in Las Vegas and want to know how shitty Las Vegas can be, it's shitty fucking motorcycle drivers and shitty people who don't know how the fucking bus works that ruin the fucking road for everybody, okay? And I hate it. Pisses me off. Safe driving is the most logical thing you could do when you're behind the wheel, right? But no, everyone has to be reckless and be an asshole. Ay, ay, ay. It's curious. As I think about it now and wonder to myself, oh, my dad heard me and saw me talking today, what would his reaction be? Because, I mean, even a couple years ago when we'd have conversations, I mean, it was frustrating, to say the least. Because, you know, this is a guy who expected a lot of his only son. And his only son was bang average, not only in high school, but in college. But despite the fact that he finished both high school and college, he never lived up to his own standards. He always kind of straddled about, listed in mediocrity, and was okay with it. And I get the frustration. I do. Because I can fucking say it. It's the truth. But now, I don't know. I don't know what he would say. Maybe it's something along the lines of, you know, what more can you do? Because he was always a tough love kind of guy, man. Never along the lines of, oh, you're the best, you know, you're going to destroy it. No, it was never like that. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't get that. Because as much as I didn't like it back then, of tough love shit, of my dad not really being, I suppose, in the Western and American sense, emotionally available, right? That shit actually paid dividends down the line. I mean, to now, where, I don't know, man. I don't know what he would think right now. Maybe you'd think, oh wow, you're cursing a lot more. You're smoking way too fucking much, and you gained a little bit of weight. You're getting a little chubby again. But yeah, it's left up to us to guess. Jesus fucking Christ, I can't put my goddamn words out. But yeah, he would be a little irritated of me not really taking care of the old car, the old hunk of junk here, and, you know, being an all-around asshole. But hey, that's just kind of the relationship that we had. But I still love my dad, man. I mean, I didn't really get along with him all that well, especially around my teen years, college years, post-college years. Jesus Christ, a lot of my life I didn't really get along with my dad, but I love him. I knew he loved me. And on a day like today on his birthday, I just want to keep it brief, keep it short, and maybe end it with a bit of a short story. So, long time ago, my dad, when he first came to the United States, he's very showman, very vocal kind of guy. So when he went to McDonald's, he said he wanted one coffee. And instead, the cashier gave him Coke. they heard Coke from coffee. And it might be his accent, it might be the way people were interpreting that shit, but I just found that funny. I still think about that shit. I'll still think about a lot of dumb stories about my dad, but kids, what you have left is memories after people are gone. And don't let those memories die. Because once they die, that's when the person who passed away, that's when they truly die. So, hey, happy birthday, Dad. And to all of you who, got parents, just don't be such fucking little pricks to your parents, man. I don't know. I'm still a prick kid to my mom. I try, man. It's hard, but I try. That's all we can really do. Try every day. Keep getting better every day. And live honest and earnestly, right? So, with that heavy ass shit, I'm gonna leave you there. And I'll probably be back tomorrow. Maybe early in the morning. But, fuck off.